All righty.
Okay, are we rolling here?
We are rolling.
Okay, so welcome to part 2 of Merkaba training. This is part of level 2 training in the how to be your own genie. So let's start by looking at what we looked at the first part. And I'm just going to ask, because we only have one other person here, I'm just going to ask, so how did it go with your higher self and connecting, having conversation with your higher self?
I'm not there yet. I feel like I'm getting closer, but I'm not there yet.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do then is the next lesson, I'm going to provide some additional training in that. But this is going to be the last training for the Merkaba lessons, okay? So, and we're going to probably get through this quick. So let's look at the first part that we did. All right, so it has 17 breaths, and the first 6 breaths are cleansing. So you're going to clear your meridians, your chi energy channels in your body. And then breath 7 to 13, you are working with a sphere of energy that is activating your 4 prime cells or 4 first cells when you were just conceived. Okay, and we're going to go more into that in depth later. But you're activating that, and then the sphere expands out to the Da Vinci sphere. So it's your wingspan, the diameter of your wingspan or your height. And breath 14, you're going to move the center of that sphere, well, both spheres, to your heart chakra instead of in your solar plexus. Okay, so we're just going to review that a little bit. But your solar plexus is the 3rd chakra. And that is basically where we are in consciousness as a whole, as a species, okay? So if you look at the entirety of the species, we are 3-dimensional creatures, and the majority of people just focus on the 3rd dimension. They don't really look into spirituality that much. People are focused mainly on what am I going to eat for dinner. They are focused on their jobs, which gives them money so that they can eat food, so that they can have shelter and clothing and things that they need. All of that is a 3-dimensional viewpoint. So what you're doing when you move that consciousness center up a notch to your heart is you are helping to transform all of the species, not just yourself, which is very powerful. You're also going to be moving your main focus in life towards the heart instead of survival. And we talked about the 3rd dimension. So we are 3-dimensional beings. Obviously, the body is 3 dimensions. It has height, length, width. You are moving up into some other region that is unknown when you move into the heart chakra. And that is the region of compassion, of unconditional love, of understanding, and empathy. So this is a really, really important meditation to be doing. Now, when you activate your Merkaba, which is going to be later today, we're going to talk about what that means. But for right now, everything that we've covered is pretty powerful stuff. Okay, so the first breath, if you recall, you are going to be visualizing a tetrahedron. Now, when you inhale, what direction is that tetrahedron pointing?
Up.
Correct. So we're going to call that the sun tetrahedron because it points towards the sun. And then when you exhale, the tetrahedron is pointing down. And we call that the earth tetrahedron because it points to the center of Mother Earth. All right. So the tetrahedron is going to be oriented around the body differently if you are male versus female. Some people are gender fluid, or they're transgender, or they are homosexual and have some sort of gender dysphoria. They might experience a different orientation. So you have to pick the orientation that you think is best for you based on how it feels. And that might require you to do a little bit of homework and just visualizing the tetrahedrons in both orientations. So you do it in the male first and then the female, and decide back and forth, okay, which one feels the most real to me? Which one is me? And then once you figure that out, it's pretty simple. Okay, so the male orientation, the sun tetrahedron, obviously there's a point on top of your head. It's about 6 to 8 inches above your head. And then you're going to draw a straight line to the next point, which is directly in front of you at about knee height. And if you stand at attention with your feet planted firmly to the ground together, you're going to go as far as you can reach. And that's going to be where that point is. So it's at your knee height. So you're going to kind of crouch down a little bit, but your feet are planted firmly on the ground. Don't move your feet, and go as far as you could reach before you fall over. That is the first point, okay? Or, well, the second point, because the first point is on top of your head. The next 2 points are behind you and to the left and to the right. So again, with your feet planted firmly, just go as far as you could reach with your left hand and as far as you can reach with your right hand. And that's going to be that point. And if you were to measure, it would roughly be your height. So this shape is going to be perfect for you, is proportional to you. And there's a reason for that. We're going to talk about why it's this shape, why it is the star tetrahedron and not some other shape in a future lesson. But for right now, we're just going to discuss the simple mechanics of it. Okay, so the sun tetrahedron for a male, there's a point on top of the head, a point directly in front of you, knee height. There's a point behind you and to the left, and behind you and to the right. So that you're going to visualize in white light, like lightning. So it's going to have a slight blue tinge. You are going to feel the feeling of unconditional love for all life. And if you have trouble with that, then I would suggest finding a person or a pet that you love absolutely. And just picture that pet or your child or your mother, father, your wife, some other person that you love. Just get that image in your mind and get the feeling in your heart of love. We're also going to be doing a mudra, which is your hand position. So your index finger and your thumb are going to touch, and your palms will be upward. You can do this sitting, standing, lying down. You can do it in the lotus position if you're really good at that. I'm not. I'm not good at yoga, so I don't do that. But you can if you're very, very concerned about being authentic, okay? Otherwise, you can just remain seated. It's best to have your spine up and down, but you can do this lying down. I've done it before, lying down, and it works just fine. Okay, so if you want more detail on that, go to the first lesson. But otherwise, all of all of the breaths after that, 1 through 6, are exactly the same. It's just the mudra that changes. So there is the second breath is mudra where your middle finger and your thumb touch. Then the third breath, your ring finger and thumb touch. The fourth breath, your pinky and thumb touch. The fifth is again your index finger and thumb. And the sixth is again your middle finger and thumb. So you inhale and you visualize that sun tetrahedron. If you are female, the sun tetrahedron, excuse me, there's something in my throat. If you're female, the sun tetrahedron will have a point at the top of your head, 6 to 8 inches above your head. And then it is going to go, there are 2 points in front of you, one to the left and one to the right. So if you have your feet firmly planted, you'll reach with your left hand and reach as far as you can at knee height. That is where the point is. Do the same with your right hand. And then there is a point behind you that is proportional. Now, you're obviously not going to be able to reach it if you have your feet firmly planted. So you can just imagine that point. So that is a female sun tetrahedron. So when you breathe in, you're going to visualize this tetrahedron. You're going to feel love in your heart. Then when you exhale, you're going to visualize the earth tetrahedron. So for males, you have a point roughly 6 to 8 inches below your feet. And then you're going to have 2 points in front of you. They're going to be at chest height, so around the nipple area. And again, go as far as you can reach. If your feet are planted on the floor, one is to the left and one is to the right, in front of you, left and right. Then you have another point directly behind you at chest height. You obviously cannot reach that with your feet firmly planted, so just imagine that one. That's going to be the male earth tetrahedron. If you're female, you're going to visualize the opposite. So there's a point directly below your feet, and then you're going to have 1 point directly in front of you at chest height, roughly where the underwire of your bra is. Okay, so that directly in front of you at that height is where your point is. So reach as far as you can with your feet firmly planted, and that's your forward point. Then you have 2 points going behind you, one to the left, one to the right, again at chest height, and it's going to be as far as you can reach with your left hand and as far as you can reach with your right hand. And if you're not physically able to do the reaching because of, a back problem or something, then don't do it, okay? Get some strings and make the strings the length of your wingspan or your height. And then if you tie them all together and get a few friends to hold the strings at the points, you will see your tetrahedron. And then you can really, really visualize it. And that's a fun project to do if you have got kids. They really enjoy doing stuff like that. And then for the top points, you might want to get a tall person to hold the top point string for you, or you can get somebody on a ladder or something like that. But it's actually a lot of fun with kids to do that. Okay, so that is what you're going to visualize. Again, throughout this whole meditation, you're going to feel love in your heart. So you're exhaling and you are visualizing your earth tetrahedron for whichever orientation yours is. It is in white light. Then you're going to hold your breath. So make sure when you do this, you're breathing with your diaphragm. You're taking really deep breaths. Don't worry about sucking in your gut. You're not impressing anybody, okay? Don't suck in your gut. Breathe with a belly that's expanding, okay? You want to see that belly, that diaphragm expanding, because you're going to have to hold your breath. So we're going to breathe in for 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds and then hold it for 5 seconds. So you want to have enough air to do all of that. While you exhale, remember you were visualizing the earth tetrahedron, so keep that vision in your mind. Or if you have trouble visualizing, feel it. You can actually feel it around your body. Feel it or visualize it. And think of all of the negativity coalescing or gathering or mustering into the center of your tetrahedron, or pardon me, your star tetrahedron. So think of the star and it's gathering in the center. So it's still going to be in the center of the earth tetrahedron because they actually overlap. The sun tetrahedron and the earth tetrahedron, if you look at them, they overlap when they make the star. So the center of the earth tetrahedron is also the center of the star. So the negativity is going to gather in that spot into a little ball, black ball of negativity. And you're going to squish it out when I say the bottom. So it's going to just really quickly be squished all the way down to the bottom point of the earth tetrahedron and go into Mother Earth. The word that I use when that happens is pulse, but I don't want to just say pulse. So I want you to get ready for it. The words I use for you to get ready are eyes in and up, and then I say pulse. So it's sort of like saying, get ready, get set, go. All right. So you don't do anything when I say eyes in and up. You just wait, but you know it's coming. And then when I say pulse, what you're going to do is you put your eyes slightly crossed inward and looking up. And at pulse, you quickly go down. So you look down with your eyes all the way to the floor. And you imagine that black ball being squished out the bottom. Then you are going to inhale, and that's the second breath. So you inhale, visualize the sun tetrahedron, exhale the earth tetrahedron, and then we're going to do the same thing. A black ball, while you're holding your breath, gathers in the middle, and then I say eyes in and up, pulse. You do that thing with your eyes, the eyes go down, and you squish out the ball. And what you're doing is you're clearing your chi meridians in the body. All right, so we do that 6 breaths. Breath 7. Does anybody remember the mudra? Okay, it is the index finger and the middle finger, both touching the thumb. All right, so that's the new mudra for 7. And in breath 7, you are going to imagine a straw is going through the center of your body. And energy is going to be flowing in to the straw, never out. It comes in from the top and it's going downwards. And it comes in from the bottom and it's going upwards. So there's going to be a collision, and the collision is going to occur at the solar plexus region of the body. And you're going to start to make a small ball of energy, okay? This ball is going to get bigger and bigger. So you'll exhale, that energy will come in some more, and the ball will inflate some more. Breath 8, you inhale, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then breath 8, after you finish exhaling, that ball will be the size of your hips, or around a basketball size ball of energy. Breath 9, the energy is still coming in. You inhale, and it's getting brighter. At the end of that exhale, it's going to be bright as a full moon. Breath 10, you're going to breathe in and it's going to get golden, just a bright, bright golden moon, like a heavy harvest moon. And then 10, you exhale with a forced air breath. So that's a very interesting breath. I'm going to try and do it for you here. I'm going to get my mic out of the way. Okay, I hope that wasn't feedbacky, but there you go. That's the forced air breath. So you start with your lips together and form a small hole, and just a little bit of air goes through, and then all of a sudden it just punches out, and a big burst of air is exhaled all at once. Okay, when that happens, your sphere of energy, that is a basketball, is going to be expanding out to the size of the Vitruvian Man sphere. So it's going to be as wide as your wingspan. So if you outstretch your arms right now, that sphere is going to be the size in breath 10, or after the exhale of breath 10. Breath 11, you're going to bring in some more energy and stabilize the spheres. So another sphere is going to form that is a basketball-sized sphere at the same time as the previous one expanded out. Okay, so you're going to have two spheres. One is small and one is big. Breath 11, you're stabilizing that by giving more energy to the sphere. Breath 12, some more stabilizing. 13, more stabilizing. Then in breath 14, that's the special breath, we're going to take our hands and nest them. So the left can nest into the right, or the right can nest into the left. And there's actually a picture of that up in Genie Training. So that is what we do with our hands. And we're going to move the spheres with our minds. And the center of the sphere is going to get to the heart chakra. And we talked about this a little bit just a few minutes ago, that we're changing humanity by doing this. We're moving our consciousness from just survival and getting enough food and money and shelter and clothing and all the things that we need. We're getting that out of the way of our focus, and we are focusing on higher things such as love, understanding, empathy, compassion, that type of thing. All right? So we are changing humanity and not just ourselves by doing this meditation. So that's where we're at. Now there's still 3 more breaths to do. There's 15, 16, and 17. All right. But before we do that, are there any questions about the first 14 breaths?
I thought there was 18.
Oh, somebody's been reading the advanced material. Yes, there are 18 breaths, and your higher self will teach you the 18th.
But I can't go the speed of light without that information.
The speed of light? Who wants to go the speed of light anyway?
My Merkaba.
Well, how about we get it activated first, then we'll worry about breath 18.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Now, in breath 14, that is where we get to the point where our higher selves will meet with us. So your higher self is a version of you that is in the 5th dimension. Now, more dimensions mean more data. So your higher self is, in effect, somebody who has more information than you do. But since it's you, you can just ask, and your higher self will tell you that information. And then you can use it to your advantage. This is a great tool to use in business, in your goals, because maybe you're picking a goal that's not right for you. And wouldn't it be better to just figure that out really quickly than to have to go through a bunch of bad deals and discover that that wasn't the right chief aim for you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we talk to our higher selves. And if anybody is having trouble getting symbols for yes, no, and maybe, then I have additional training for that. And I think I will provide that. What day is it today? Tuesday. I'll provide that Thursday, if I can find it. And after that, we will also discuss the hows and whys and all of that fun stuff. But for right now, I think we're ready to move on and activate our Merkaba. Okay, so breath 15, 16, and 17, you are going to maintain the same mudra from breath 14. So your hands are nested. Now, these breaths are more conceptual. So people who have trouble with visualization, you're not going to be able to visualize this anyway. So you're in luck, because this is really just you announcing in your mind what your intention is for this. Okay, so we're visualizing your star tetrahedron. So not one tetrahedron or the other, but both of them together. And it's going to be around your body. Now you have to maintain the same orientation, remember? So does everybody know what their orientation is for the star tetrahedron?
Well, what do you mean by orientation?
Just give me a second here.
Sun, Earth, or the position I'm sitting in, or what?
Yes, so your sun tetrahedron is going to be in the same orientation that it was in the first 6 breaths, and same thing with your Earth. All right, so for males, you're going to have a Merkaba one way, a star tetrahedron one way, and for females, it's going to be a different way.
Understood.
Okay, perfect. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. I posted something in Genie Training. So you're going to imagine yourself like that. Now, again, you could be standing, so don't worry about this. You could be seated in a chair. You don't have to be doing the lotus thing. But this entire shape is going to be spinning on the top point and bottom point axis. So I'm going to provide a video of that in a second here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. There's so many wrong ones that it's hard to find a good one. Here we go. Okay, so does everybody see that one? I don't know if we're allowed to play that clip on YouTube.
I see it. Let me see if the audio comes through.
We are talking about a Merkaba field. This is a star tetrahedron. See that? It's a star tetrahedron.
Is it working?
This is
It is
shape,
playing it on YouTube. It's just I can't hear it,
the
but it shows on
shape of
the
Merkaba.
that it's picking up the audio.
Merkaba.
Okay, great. Now the reason why I'm being so picky about this is because I actually was on YouTube a few nights ago when I was preparing for this class, and I could not believe how many wrong videos there were out there, and it was really discouraging. So that's what you're going to imagine, is that guy spinning the Merkaba there. I keep saying Merkaba, it's not a Merkaba, okay? It's a star tetrahedron. It's a polyhedron. It is not a Merkaba. A Merkaba is the energy field created when you spin 3 of these. You have 2 spinning, 1 stationary, and it creates a field of energy. That is the Merkaba. So I apologize for my mistake. Okay, so you're going to have 3 of these all in the same spatial location around your body. And for right now, they're stationary, okay? So does everybody understand that you have 3 star tetrahedrons simultaneously around your body?
I get the sun and the earth. Where's the third one?
Okay, so the star, not the tetrahedron, but you're going to imagine there are 3 stars around you.
Got it.
Yeah, and this is something that a lot of people get wrong, so I want to just make sure. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm just making sure that everybody gets it. All right, so you have 3 stars around you. One is going to go clockwise, one will spin counterclockwise, and the third is stationary. Okay, and the clip that I showed you with the guy, he's got like a rainbow Merkaba and he's spinning it around. That's how it spins. So one spins counterclockwise and one spins clockwise, and then the other is stationary. Okay, so I'm going to show you another video that is the wrong way. Here it is. Okay, and it's just a very quick video, but I encourage everybody to look at that. That is not what you want.
So they're not spinning independently.
Correct, yes. The star is locked into position. Does everybody know what it's a stellated octahedron? Does everybody know what that looks like?
I do not.
Okay, I'm going to try and find something here that will show it. All right, so that is going to be spinning in breath 15. It will be spinning at 1/3 the speed of light. So when I'm calling out the directions to you, I'm going to say 1/3 the speed of light. Well, you can't obviously visualize that, right?
That is a tough one.
Sorry, my button was acting up. Okay, yeah, so that is very difficult to visualize in any kind of exacting way, but you're going to just say it, and it's like a command to your brain. There it is, I found it. Okay, I'm going to post from Wikipedia. Okay, that's a really bad angle that they have it at, but that is your stellated octahedron, okay? A lot of times people get this wrong and they sell crystals in this shape as a Merkaba shape, and it's not. So just understand that if you want to look for something like this in a crystal, you could probably just look up for crystal Merkaba or something, and it'll probably have a lot for sale. All right, so breath 15, that is going to be spinning. There's one spinning in a clockwise way and the other in a counterclockwise way, and then another star like that is going to be stationary. And they're going to be going at 1/3 the speed of light. So they're obviously just going in opposite directions. Does that make sense to everyone?
Okay, so they're the same size and everything. It's just one's going one direction, one's going the other.
Correct. Okay, now I'm going to show you another video, and this is the correct way. Okay, here it is. Okay, now it's a little bit distracting because they have fireworks there. But as you can see, it's just showing you the shapes. So you can see that there's a lot going on there. Can everybody see that video and play that video?
Yes, I'm playing it right now.
Okay, and you see I'm spending a lot of time on this, making sure that you visually are getting the right thing, because I don't want anybody to mess this up, because it can be very dangerous if you get it wrong. All right, so breath 15, you will have an exhale that is a forced air breath. Okay, so as you inhale, you're going to inhale slowly and deeply, and you're going to breathe instead of, doing the yogic breathing like we were doing. You can start breathing more shallowly, okay? But obviously for this breath, you're going to breathe in deep because you're going to have a big explosion of the exhale, okay? So breath 15, you're going to imagine when you do that pop with your breath, that's when they take off. So they're completely stationary until that pop with your breath. And then they take off instantly at 1/3 the speed of light. One going one way, one going the other way. Does that make sense to everyone?
All right, so they're all the same size within the sphere, and they pop up after the breath, and one's going clockwise, one's going counterclockwise, and one is stationary.
Correct. And they'll be going 1/3 the speed of light. Okay, I think we're ready. I think that's breath 15. So now breath 16. Do not do breath 16 without doing breath 17. So you're doing the meditation, okay? You start at breath 1 and you go all the way to breath 15, and then there's a knock on the door. You can stop and get the door, no problem. But if you're already doing breath 16 and there's a knock on the door, don't get up, don't stop the meditation, do breath 17 really quickly, it doesn't take long, and then go get the door. There are people who have stopped at breath 16 and then they were a little wonky for the rest of the day until they redid the meditation. Okay, so you don't want to do that. In breath 16, something very cool happens. So first of all, these things are going to speed up. These stars are going to speed up to 2/3 the speed of light. They are also going to be in a ratio. So you're going to have This is what I'm going to call out. So I'm like your square dancing announcer, and I'm calling out do-si-do. Okay, swing your partner, do-si-do. All right, here's what I'm going to call out. 34 to the left, 21 to the right. What the heck does that mean? Well, remember Fibonacci sequence from when we took level 1? Okay, the Fibonacci sequence, that is a Fibonacci ratio. And that is the same ratio of our DNA. I bet you didn't know that. There's a spiraling of both. It's a double helix, but one is going more turns than the other one. So you're having a Fibonacci ratio spin. So the one going counterclockwise is going to be going faster than the one going clockwise. This, when they take off at 2/3 the speed of light, means that the one going counterclockwise is actually going to be going faster than 2/3 the speed of light. And the one going clockwise is going to be going slower than 2/3 the speed of light, because they have to average out in speed to 2/3 the speed of light. When that happens, that's going to happen with a forced air breath. You're going to kick out a disc. It's going to look really cool. Here it is. Okay, does everybody see that?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Space aliens.
I'm turning you into aliens. Okay, this picture that I just posted is not a Merkaba. This is a galaxy, and that is the heat envelope of a galaxy. I want you to notice that line that is at the center of the disk for the galaxy. When light is moving, when you're moving at the speed of light and it's moving away from you, that's what you're going to see, is that line. So that is what's going to be around your body, and you will have that line. Anybody that can see the Merkaba and the energy envelope will see a line there in the center. Okay, so you're going to be turning into a spaceship. You're going to have a spaceship around your body, which is why we call the Merkaba a vehicle. All right, so that's what's going to happen in breath 16. But this is going to be wobbly. So imagine a spinning top, and you've spun it, and then after a few seconds, it starts to slow down. And as it slows down, what happens?
It falls.
Correct. It gets wobbly, and then it slows down even more, and then it falls on its side. This is what's going to be in breath 16. That's why you do not want to stop the meditation at that point. You want to continue to breath 17. So breath 17, again, that's another forced air breath at the exhale. And when you exhale, it's going to speed up to 9/10 the speed of light, which is the same speed as an electron going around the nucleus of an atom. So that is tuned to here. It's tuned to the third dimension. And all of the measurements that we have used, we haven't talked about that yet, but they are all specifically tuned to the golden mean, to the Fibonacci numbers, to phi. And that is the source code for here. So we're essentially creating a bridge between here, the third dimension, and higher dimensions so that we can travel to them. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so you're going to speed this up to 9/10 the speed of light, and you're giving it more power and more energy in breath 17. And again, it's on the pop of the exhale. So as you're inhaling, you're just kind of getting ready, right? You're inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And then when you exhale and pop goes your breath, that's when it speeds up and it stabilizes your spinning top so that your spinning top is spinning really, really fast so that it's stable and it's not going to wobble around. Now, this whole process of breath 15, 16, 17 takes like 20 seconds, okay? But it takes a lot of explaining, all right? So I hope everybody is ready because we're gonna do a really quick go through here. And of course, my computer slows right down.
Probably the CIA.
Yeah, it's trying to stop us. Okay, so is everybody ready for this? You ready to do breaths 15, 16, and 17?
Da.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with breath 1 because we need practice. So we're going to go through all of them. Is that cool with everybody? You don't have to go to the washroom or anything?
Ready, steady.
Okay. Breathe in deeply for a cleansing breath, and we're going to begin shortly. Have a feeling of love in your heart. Have feelings of unconditional love. Get your mudra ready with your index finger and your thumb touching, palms upward. Close your eyes, and we're going to begin. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around your body. Exhale, visualizing the earth tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Hold your breath. The energy is coalescing. Eyes in and up, pulse. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Exhale, visualizing the earth tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Hold your breath. The negative energy is coalescing in the center. Eyes in and up, pulse. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around the body filled with light. Exhale, visualizing the earth tetrahedron around your body. Hold your breath. The negative energy is coalescing in the middle. Eyes in and up, pulse. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Exhale, visualizing the earth tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Hold your breath. The negative energy is coalescing. Eyes in and up, pulse. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Exhale, with the earth tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Hold your breath. The negative energy is coalescing. Eyes in and up, pulse. Inhale, visualizing the sun tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Exhale, visualizing the earth tetrahedron around your body filled with light. Hold your breath. The energy is coalescing in the center. Eyes in and up. Pulse. Breath 7. Change mudras. Visualize the energy coming into your body from the top and the bottom. A small sphere is forming. Exhale, visualizing the energy continuing to form a ball. It's ever expanding. Inhale, breath 8. The energy is expanding the ball even more. Exhale, breath 8. Your ball should reach the size of your hips. Inhale, breath 9. The energy is making your ball brighter. Exhale, the energy is getting even more bright, bright like a full moon. Breath 10, inhale. The energy is making a golden sphere like a heavy harvest moon. With a forced air breath, breathe out now. You now have a beautiful sphere around your body and also one in the center around your hips. Inhale, breath 11, stabilizing your spheres. Exhale, continuing to see the energy come into your body and stabilizing your spheres. Breath 12, inhale, stabilizing your spheres. Exhale, continuing to bring in the energy. Inhale, breath 13, stabilizing your spheres. Exhale, stabilizing your spheres. Continue to see the energy flow in. Breath 14, change mudras so your hands are nested. Bring the center of your spheres to your heart chakra. Feel the energy, and you can breathe more shallowly. Ask your higher self to meet you in your heart. Ask your higher self to show you your symbol for yes. Ask your higher self to show you your symbol for no. Say, higher self, what is my symbol for neutral? Ask your higher self to show you how much you are loved. Thank your higher self for this connection that you are building. And we will take a deep cleansing breath to prepare for breath 15. Breath 15, as you inhale, visualize your star tetrahedrons spinning in opposite directions. When you do a forced air breath, they will take off at 1/3 the speed of light. Exhale. Breath 16. Inhale. Imagine your stars spinning in the Fibonacci ratio. 34 to the left, 21 to the right. They will take off at 2/3 the speed of light when you exhale. Exhale now, forced air breath. Breath 17. As you inhale, imagine that your stars will be speeding up to 9/10 the speed of light in the ratio of the Fibonacci sequence, stabilizing your disk. Forced air breath, exhale. You have now activated your Merkaba. Sit for a moment and feel the energy. You may want to hold out your hands. You may want to open your eyes or continue to close your eyes. What do you feel? Anybody want to share?
Well, I felt like really, really calm.
Cool. So do you normally not feel calm when you're meditating?
It felt not necessarily calm. That was a poor choice of words, but like clear-headed, like not a lot of running around in my mind.
Oh, good. Well, that's excellent.
So what is this good for? What is this what does the Merkaba spinning, what does that help you with?
Well, we'll have to go over that the next time, because looks like we're out of time today and I have to get up early. But I recommend that you do this meditation because I've provided you with the final MP3. I recommend you do this meditation tomorrow at roughly this time or some other evening hour that works for you.
Sounds good.
And yeah, and we'll meet again on Thursday night. Yay.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.